Good morning, students. The next topic in the chapter is social problems and health. You already have a separate subject called social problems, and you have an understanding of what social problems are. Okay, so what are the social problems? Poverty, unemployment, prostitution, HIV/AIDS, and illiteracy. So there are a whole lot of social problems. So how does this affect the health of the people? Okay, so let's see three. You would have studied in your first year about functionalist theory, conflict theory, and all these things. So there are three different theories. Okay, so these theories based on social problems, we will see how it affects the health of the people. Okay, so first is a functionalist approach. What does a functionalist approach say? It talks about the function. Each individual who form the society, we have a function, we have a role to play. Okay, so when we do not do this role, then there is problem in the society. That is called social pathology. Just like in a human body, when it gets affected by disease, we call it pathology. The society also, because the person does not do the normal function, they have social pathology. So when there is social pathology, then there is social disorganization. When everybody in the society are doing their work, then it is organized society. When people in the society are not doing their function, then there is social disorganization. So when social pathology is there, it causes a lot of change in the individuals. And for example, if a person is very poor or dependent on drug, like a drug addict, okay, so they are not able to change according to the society, and they cause social disorganization in the society. So that leads to a lot of health problems. For example, poor people or drug addicts, they have health issues. So because of their wrong functioning in the society, they have health problems. Okay, so another example is in the 20th century, there was a lot of homelessness. People were not having homes. Now the government is trying to build homes for every people. Okay, those days there were no homes, and so people were living on the roads. So when they live on the roads, there is no income, so they started having crime. So they were stealing from people, they were murdering people. So when these kind of issues are there, the society is not normal, and that leads to a lot of health problems. So that is the relationship between social problems and health as per the functionalist theory. Then the conflict theory. When you have a role to play in the society, when you do not have the strength, or when you do not want to play the role, there is conflict. Even in your own class, if two people do not agree on the same thing, then there is conflict. Each of you will argue on different things. So when there is conflict in the society, it leads to unequal wealth. Okay, for example, there are poor people, there are rich people, and there is a concept called the rich people become richer, poor get poorer. That means those who are poor, they don't get more money, whereas the rich people, they have enough money, they get more money with the existing wealth. So what happens is, there is conflict in the society between the rich and the poor, between the high class and the low class, people of high society and low society, people who have jobs and people who do not have jobs. There is always a lot of conflict. So this conflict can lead to social problems. So this is the problem of the capitalist system. In capitalist system, it is industrialized society. The industries are there, so people who get jobs in these industries have enough money, and because they have enough money, they have good health. Whereas people without jobs, then they do not have money, they become more poor, they do not have good health, and when they become sick also, they do not have access to health care. So that is the conflict approach towards social problem and how it affects the health of the people. The third is the interactionist theory and the constructionist theory. This again you will study in the third year. So here there is an actor. In first year in social system, you would have studied about actor, role, and status. Okay, so here an actor is present, that is the individual who creates the problem. Okay, and for the problem creator actually is based on the situation, and sometimes a problem creator may not create problem, but other times the person may create problem based on how he feels related to the other people in the society, based on the interaction between this person and the other people. So based on the interaction between different groups of people, there can be social problems. Okay, so here it is the process rather than the structure which is important. And so the process means how the process goes, structure means what is already there, and so the meaning rather than the causality. Okay, so this is how the social problems affect the health of the people. We can explain it based on the three theories: the functionalist theory, the conflict theory, and the interactionist and constructive theory. So when social problem is there, then people suffer from unequal health care, and social problems and health are related in many ways. Okay, mainly there is, when there is inequality in the society, this kind of social problem can occur, and health can also be affected. So it is like a cycle, not the cycle which you drive, but like a vicious cycle, it's like a circle. If you are poor, then you become sick. If you are sick, then you get poor health care access, and then you get more sick, then more poverty. So it's like one circle where people who are poor do not have good health care. Okay, whereas the rich people have adequate health care, they have more money, they have good health care, they become well. So also social problems like drug addiction, smoking, alcoholism, these can cause other health problems. A rich person may not be involved in drug addiction, or they may be, but even if they get sick, they have enough money to take care of it. But a poor person, already they are poor, and these social problems can lead to more health issues, which lead to sickness and maybe even death. How to overcome these social problems which lead to health problems? Equality in the society. Many years back itself, there were social workers who started telling there should be no untouchability in the society, everybody is equal, women and men should be treated equally. So when India becomes a country where everybody is equal and everybody's standard of living will improve, then we will have good health for everybody. Till that equality is achieved, we will have inequality in standard of living and inequality in access to health care. The next thing is eradication of social problems. So social problems, there are so many reasons. We saw the functionalist theory, conflict theory, interactionist theory. So we have to ensure that social problems are eradicated. So poverty, prostitution, HIV, alcoholism. So there are so many social problems. When all these are removed, we will live in an ideal society where there will be less health problems. Okay, then social organization. We were talking about social disorganization, especially this coronavirus has caused a lot of disorganization in the society. Buses are not running, hospitals are not functioning properly, colleges are not functioning properly. So when this kind of social disorganization is there, it can increase the health problems. So social organization, on the other hand, will reduce health issues. Then finally, equality will help in reducing conflict. We talked about the conflict theory and how problem between people causes more health problems. So equality will reduce the conflict. When there are no poor people, rich people divide, then everybody will be equally rich. So they will not have much conflict, and that will lead to good health care. Okay, so I hope you understood the relationship between social problems and health, how different social problems can lead to various health problems, how they can be rectified. Okay, so the next topic that we are going to see is the new public health. What is public health? Public health, the other name can be community health. In olden days, even now some places we call community health care. Community is composed of people in the public. So public health is the same as community health. Okay, so in 1980s there was a lot of interest in the causes of health problems. Okay, what are the causes of health problems? There are social causes which lead to health problems, economic causes. If you do not have money, then you are not having good nutrition, that leads to poor health. Then the environmental determinant of health. If the environment is poor, if there is pollution, if there is overcrowding, so that can lead to health problem. So the government and the people, there was a lot of social health movement, you can say, which you already studied about, the social health movement that was working towards giving good health to the people. So that was the advocacy of healthy public policy instead of health service. Health service is hospitals and giving treatment. You can give treatment to hundreds and thousands of people, but if the government has good health policy, then you can prevent diseases itself. So that is the ideal way. So you have to improve the public health policy, that will help in improving the health services, and ultimately that will help the health of the population, improve the health of the population. So that is what new public health is about, to promote and protect the health status of individuals and society. So that is the aim of the new public health. It can also be called as NPH, new public health. Okay, so here it is not only the responsibility and accountability, that means it is not limited to the responsibility of people in the national or regional or local government for society's well-being, but individual, each person. This is the same that the government is telling now for the coronavirus. Initially they told we will make healthcare available, we will do testing facilities for coronavirus, we will provide PPEs, we will do all that. But slowly they realized that they cannot control the coronavirus in spite of all their efforts. So what they are saying is, people should take care, you should do your bit by washing your hands, wearing mask. That will help in controlling the virus. So the responsibility and accountability is not just on the national government, the state government, local government, but every individual and community should take responsibility for their own health care. Even the voluntary organizations, private sectors, not only hospitals, but even medical equipment companies, food companies, pharmaceutical companies, they all should be responsible for the health of the people. A medical pharmaceutical company cannot say, I will have a vaccine for coronavirus, but I will give it only for 10,000 rupees. Then very few people will benefit from it. So they should also, everybody should be involved in better society. So they should lower the cost and provide adequate health care for everybody. Okay, so if we provide good quality service and at accessible, affordable rate, then it will have the best health outcome. What is health outcome? The health outcome is good health for everybody. So the new public health policy is, instead of strengthening only the hospital doctor, you strengthen the community, you strengthen the policy of the government, so that all the people will indirectly benefit. When a doctor treats a patient, the patient directly benefits. When the doctor treats the patient directly benefits from the treatment. But when the policy itself is changed, then all the people benefit by better health care. Okay, so medical sociology has a close relationship with public health or community medicine. Okay, you all worked in field work, you have gone to the field, so you have seen that there are inequalities in the villages. People do not have equal access to health care. So there are a lot of things that cause disease in the villages and other communities. These are called the social determinants of health. Okay, suppose a woman gets leprosy and a male gets leprosy. Who gets treated first in the family? Whether they are given equal priority. If a man gets leprosy, does he still stay in the house? If a woman gets leprosy, she's thrown out of the house. So these are all social determinants of health or disease. And there is inequality in health. You already know that our society is not equal. So these kind of inequalities are present, and a medical sociologist should be the person to overcome these inequalities and try to counsel people and community, even the healthy people, so that access to healthcare, affordable healthcare, equal healthcare is provided to everybody. So what are the steps in new public health? How can we improve the public health policy? First thing is improve the housing and sanitation. You see here, we are not focusing on the health of the person directly. You're not saying you brush your teeth, you take medicines. We are saying improve the housing. How is housing related to health? That is the new public health policy. So housing will protect the person from infections. Good housing will protect the person from getting diseases. Good sanitation will protect the person from getting tuberculosis, whooping cough, cholera. So that means we have to improve the housing and sanitation in the community to improve the health of the person. So instead of directly treating a person with tuberculosis after the person gets tuberculosis, you are trying to prevent tuberculosis from occurring in a person by improving the housing and sanitation. Okay, so hope you understood the importance of public health, because it helps more in prevention of disease than treatment of disease. The next thing is individual measures that can be taken to control infection. Like every child who is born, it is the responsibility of the mother and father to give immunization to the child. So if you give immunization to the child will not suffer from polio, tetanus, these diseases. Okay, so the family should be involved in taking care of their own people. Sometimes the school should be involved, community health services should be involved. Every school has a health checkup for all the students at least once a year, so that they know which student has disease, so that they can treat the disease early. So this kind of policy will help in improving the public health. So that is the new public health. Okay, so there should also be increased faith in hospital based therapeutic medicine. We live in a culture and society where people believe in witchcraft, people believe in village healer, health healer. So some of it may be true, some of it may work, but it is not scientific. There is no evidence based practice in all those. So people should have growing faith in the hospital based therapeutic medicine. So that is another important aspect of new public health. Okay, so this is based on Thomas McEwan's work. He said that medical intervention like drug, vaccines, they have made only little contribution in preventing death and infection. Okay, so what is more important in preventing death and infection is increasing the life expectancy, is improving the social conditions, like improving housing, improving sanitation, water availability. These are all things that will help in improving the preventing infectious disease and in preventing mortality. Okay, smaller family size, better nutrition, healthy environment. So all these are basis of medical sociology. Okay, so as a medical sociologist, you should be involved in ensuring that community has access to good living conditions, good housing. So either you should directly be involved in interviewing people, publishing research papers to tell the government about this importance, or you can you can become an activist or create social health movements that will allow the government to change the policy for better health provision, public health for the people. So national as well as international policy changes can reduce the mortality and morbidity from chronic diseases. For example, if the government makes a policy to ban cigarettes, it may help in reducing the number of cancer, lung cancer. Though there are a lot of people who do not tell banning is the best way, you increase the prices. That will make it available but prevent people from using it. So there are different ways of preventing diseases from occurring. So these should be the focus of new public health. So let us see the focus areas of new public health. Increasing contribution by the community and participation of community, individuals and families. Okay, instead of telling health hospitals should function better, we are saying the individual person, the family and the community should participate in improving sanitation, hygiene and other aspects which relate to healthcare. Okay, then road safety is important. It prevents a lot of accidents which lead to head injuries, spinal injuries, fractures. So if road safety is improved, we reduce healthcare problems to a large extent. Then removing hazardous waste material. We see a lot of wastewater from shoe factories going into the underground. Similarly, there are so many other hazardous things which are present in our society, like the pollution caused by vehicles. So if the government makes sure that good fuel is used in the vehicles, then there will be less pollution by vehicles. So things like that will help in increasing the health of the people. They will get less lung diseases, things like that. So improving the sanitation, hygiene and water. There's something called as water, sanitation, hygiene. So when you improve water availability, good quality water availability, when you improve hygiene and sanitation, then you will be able to prevent a lot of diseases, and that is what another focus area of new public health. And finally, it should also focus on prevention of diseases, rather than once the person gets disease, treating the disease is a costly and time consuming affair. Whereas when you prevent the disease itself, it will be able to help a lot of people. Okay, so these are the focus areas of new public health. So when this is done, then you will have a lot of healthy people and less sick people. So the focus should be on distancing between people. Poor people live in close surroundings. They live very close. Like 100 people will live in 10 houses within one block, whereas rich people live so far off. So if there is good housing, if there is good space between people, it can prevent a lot of diseases. Even coronavirus, where we say social distancing and people should be far off. So these can be achieved if there is good personal hygiene, good spacing between people, and this is the sign of good public health. So these are the areas of new public health. Hope you understood this topic. See you in the next class.